a full-time housewife. And I used to be so ashamed of saying that. But now, because you see women all around, they're doing their businesses, and here it's a big nanny culture. So the nanny basically is raising most of the kids here. I don't want to say most, but it's a nanny culture. Women have nannies that will go and pick up the kids. They'll come home because they're out working. They want to be, boss. Boss lady. So me at home, I was just like, I want to do something. I want to, not knowing, now that I've opened the business, I'm like, you know what? I did that, and actually I want to be at home. I want to, this is what's important, raising my kids. And I proudly, even when I'm traveling and I put on the car, I put housewife. And I always have a funny exchange with the immigration person because they're like, housewife. No, I usually put domestic engineer. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, a housewife.
Right. Domestic engineer. I like the sound of that. And that's the thing, we got to start creating them new terms because that's empowering. Our sisters will be like, I don't want to do this and that, but even still running a home is a job in itself.
Yes, it is. Oh, it is. And then even Leonard was like, you see, I told you, you just need to be patient. Now you've opened the business, now you want to be home. I told you. And I'm like, you were right.
But see, they took it off me because I had business in Jamaica. In Jamaica, we had business, 3-4 businesses in Jamaica.
What kind of businesses?
Record, boutiques, all of the whole 9. The whole 9.
This is everything.
My mom is an OG.
That's right.
Let's not go there. Following behind my dad. I was telling him the background of how you were raised. Then you fell in love with
You water down these days.
Right. How long was he been in America for before you met him?
About 3 months.
Oh wow.
Fresh.
So how did that happen?
His friend. He had a friend that was at the New York University.
Okay.
And his friend his friend was trying to befriend me. I'm like, I don't like you, and if your friend's like you, I don't like him either.
But was the friend Jamaican? Also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they was fresh from Jamaica.
Well, the friend, when he was going to university, he was teaching at university.
Oh wow. Scholar.
And the scholar was.
And we got hooked up.
So did you go back to Jamaica with him, or did you stay in the States?
No, I went to Jamaica like 3 months. After 3 months, I was in Jamaica. Balling up too.
What part of Jamaica?
Kingston. Trinidad.
Okay. I've unfortunately I still ain't been. Nah, I ain't been in Jamaica. I've been to Haiti, but
all the greats. I met all the greats. All the greats. We used to move around and hide. All the greats.
My dad was a musician.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he play?
Guitar.
What instrument do you have?
9.
Wow. 9.
My mom had 9 kids.
Woo! that's traditionalism.
And
Yeah.
my mom had 9.
Wow. What out of the 9, which number are you?
1.
1. So you're the first. Okay, so you're the boss.
I was the boss.
Wow.
Until they gave up on me and lock up the door.
Oh. So you born and raised in North Carolina?
Yo.
How was it coming up in North Carolina as the eldest of 9?
As I just did. I was basically the babysitter. When mom would go out to work, I had to take care of them. Provide food for them, lunch and stuff. And they had to listen to me. So I was a boss.
So it was nothing to have your 9 and just give order. So was it a tight ship?
Yes.
Look,
Really?
yes, not really.
Growing up, but she had to be like that. You had to, because he wanted to be. And my mom moved us back into her parents' house, all 9 of us. And it was just her raising up. Well, let me not say it was just you, because I remember, like, my uncles would come to whoop some ass if my brothers was acting up. Like, so it was like, she still had help from her brothers around if my brothers was misbehaving or if something was going on.
And
but
they couldn't be like the other girls on the scene.
yeah, we could.
They had older brother.
Yeah, they would keep us in line.
And the guys outside would scare it up.
Oh yes.
So you had some protection.
Yes. Some protection and some blocking.
That's what you blocking.
Protection, or what I thought was blocking at the time.
That's right. You need that though. You know, you never know what's out there.
Yeah.
But then that still keeps that bubble and that shield around you. That
Right. And then that's why I was telling him that you remember when we came the first time and it was on my 16th birthday.
Yes.
And it was like the perfect timing. At that moment, I didn't think so because I was in high school. I just got you didn't know, but I had my little boyfriend, thinking I was grown. And then my mom was like, "We're going to Ghana."
I'm going to carry you to immigration. Tell them you kidnapped us.
We were so pissed. We were like, yeah, the ticket was for 3 months because we came in November and we were supposed to go back in February. And we didn't.
have you been over here since now?
Now I've been here. Lena's 14 years. 14 years, yeah. When I say that, people are so shocked. I've been in Ghana for 14 years.
Wow.
I don't speak the language.
I know a little bit. I know the bad words. I know a little bit. But my children understand it. That's what I was like. If I don't understand it, they understand it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me do this. I mean, if you want to hold it, you can. Let me see. Ha.
Is it on?
It's on. It's all recorded. It's all good.
So we'll just put it here.
Yeah, that'll work. We'll pick it up. So how did coming here, I guess 14 years, how do you last not speaking the language? I guess that's my question and probably a lot of people's question.
Because let me put my phone on silent.
Okay.
Because a lot of people speak English here. So I really never felt the need to learn the language because most people speak English, or they try to, or they at least understand it, which I find fascinating because I always say, like, sometimes I feel ashamed. I'm like, I only really know English. But, and I think that's why I push so much on my kids. I'm like, y'all learning Tree, you're learning Spanish, you're learning French, because I didn't know it. So I'm pushing everything on them. So it's crazy you said that because we just got back from Abidjan.
Where's that?
Ivory Coast. Okay. And they speak French, like.
And you probably would love it when you said hey.
Yeah. Do you understand French or Creole?
No. I can do a little bit like Jean m'appelle Joey.
Okay, so you know a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the same with me. My daughter was our translator. I was so proud of her. Like the way how she would, and at one point she was translating so much, she was like, "Mommy, I'm getting stressed out now." You all like.
And I tell you, learn truth, learn God. What am I needed for? I'm like, you don't need it.
Me? But she understands Tree.
But she understands, but she needed to speak it.
But yeah, that's true. She needs to speak it. But it's most important that she understands because sometimes that understanding and people are talking around you. It goes a long way.
That's big. Even like being in California, being around Mexicans and stuff. That's one thing I've learned that we X out. like somebody would be speaking around us, speaking about us, we don't know what's going on. We be
Right.
smiling while they talking.
Right. Right.
Like, oh, a Negro, and you like. And I've learned when I went to Uganda.
Wow.
And that's me and my friend. We learned. So when I came back, I had somebody that was working with me, a Sudanese chick, and so we be in the office and we be like Mzungu, Mzungu, and then they looking at us like, and it's a joke between us like, yeah, we talking about white people. So I've learned that the language is powerful because that's what we lost in America. When people come around, we gotta stop talking.
Yeah.
We we're gonna be quiet because we don't want them to hear our conversation.
Right.
Or we'll just keep talking.
Right.
And everybody knows, but like people that speak Spanish, when they see us, they'll be speaking English, they'll go right into Spanish.
Right.
And we be X'd out.
Right. And I find that happens here a lot. That happens here a lot. But it's a weird thing. I feel like even though I don't know the language, it's something like I kind of know what they're talking about. I don't know. It's a weird way of, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. But yeah, that happens a lot. But I don't think it's intentional. Or maybe sometimes it is. Maybe sometimes it is. We're in their country. We should learn the language, right? Yeah.
But they don't learn them when they go over there either.
Learn what language? They know how to speak English.
You know what's funny about that? Being in America now, I find myself sounding somewhat like some of the old white people I grew up with. When I be like, no, you need to speak English. You need to speak English. Because even especially in California, there's so much push for Spanish, Mandarin, and as a quote unquote Black American, African American, we just got English. And I've learned working in the employment sector, we are being outclassed.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Because we just gotta get in the general line, as I say, especially in the city and county jobs. You speak Spanish, you get pushed up to help the people.
Absolutely.
You speak Russian, you get pushed up to help the people. You speak Tagalog for Filipinos. There's a job for you. Mandarin, Cantonese, there's a job for you. But it's us, we ain't got no language. So,
so you're at the bottom.
You in the general line, and you still Black. So it's like, and so whoever we go to, even if it is our people, we still got to go through that. They may not even like their job. So, what you doing there? Help me out. So even we don't have the language, but we got the uniform. Unfortunately, it's still not much value in that to get some assistance.
That's what somebody told me the other day. They said, well, when you went to Jamaica, you learned how to speak Jamaican. Well, how do you learn how to speak here? But that seemed like Jamaican patois is different from everywhere else.
That's why it's really just broken English, really.
But some of the words.
Yeah, some of the words. Yeah.
But they say
true.
when you went to Jamaica, you learned the Jamaican language. Why don't you learn this language here? This is different. How long have you been here?
I've been here about 2 weeks now.
Oh, you came in just as Sala was leaving.
Yes. I seen him because I was originally supposed to be here in December. And then I think I seen him here a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, he posted on the story. I was like, yo, I'm supposed to be in Ghana right now. And he was asking me like, when are you coming? And I told him, he was like, I'm gonna be gone by then.
Yeah.
But no, he's a good dude. I don't know how we connected, but for him, he always gives me a great perspective of those here on the land. So with me and him, we always be chopping up in the DM and just over voice and talking about tangible Pan-Africanism. Because we see a lot of rhetoric, as you see online, there's a lot of rhetoric, but people ain't got passports.
No,
right.
So I remember when I went to Uganda and I did an interview and this guy he took my video and chopped it up and everything.
Wow.
And they've been kicking my back end for a good minute. That's why my post is kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the guy, Chris, the brother in Uganda, asked me why I wasn't married yet, and I was just like, and it's a language barrier, so I had to speak a little slow, and I was like, for me, there's no good woman in America for me, so this little Haitian guy, who he claimed he Haitian, but I guess now he's Black American with a Hebrew views. He took 10 seconds out of a 10-minute video and said, "Oh, he's talking negative about Black women in America."
Oh, God.
So that's what he did, and it's like, no, bro. The guy asked me a question. I answered that from my perspective, and due to the language barrier, I'm speaking broken English so he can understand me.
Right.
And it's like, we need to have those conversations to make sense of, well, why are you not married at your age?
Right.
You know, because even the person I was staying with, my friend's cousin, when I told him my age, he was like, "You ain't got no kids?" I'm like,
Right.
nah, man. But for me, it was a shock that he had 3 kids with his wife.
How old was he?
I think he was probably like 32 at the time. But then he still had 2 adopted in there. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm late. but again, it's all, like I was talking to you earlier, it's about selective childbirthing. I don't want to, just looking at how things are going in America, I just don't want to create a situation that I'm not going to be able to handle, navigate, or take care of.
Right. Yeah.
Because the ladies them over there, these nowadays, they don't joke. And they just mess with my mind. Because the things that they do, I'm like, I had mine, and I never took them children father to child support, and he wasn't even with us
Say that
at the
again.
time.
Say that again.
I wouldn't even think of it.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, why?
Because I did for myself.
That's right. That's right. So I do for myself. And I think that's great, because for us in America, I think we have not learned to keep the system out of our business.
Yes.
And like for me, I was telling the brother last night, I bought some suits from a brother up there, and he made them, and he wanted me to do the mobile money, but I'm like, no, I got American cash. He asked for that, I got exactly what he wants. I don't want no fee. I don't want none of that taken out. And I was telling him, we need to learn to just deal with each other.
Yes.
I don't need a European or anybody else in the middle.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, like at the end of the day, it just says, we got bad negative conflict resolution skills. We should be able to work this out jointly, amicably.
To that point, I feel in Ghana, when it comes to marriage and those type of things, the conflict resolution, like if a married couple is having an issue, now the family will come in and say like, okay, what's going on? How can we do this? So the family unit can stay together. The separation is the last, the last resort.
Right.
So yeah, it's also a cultural thing.
In America, if he ain't treating you good,
Get rid of that nigga.
Get rid of that. Don't even the curve. They ain't even think about the children.
Right. We just a byproduct. So, how long have you been married?
February will be 10 years. I honestly can't even believe it myself. Like the other day I was saying, well, we've been together for 14. I was like, oh my God, we've been together for 14 years.
Wow.
Like, and my mom is looking like, that's nothing.
I see.
I was like, please.
So you got 14 years old,
But
I was married to one man for 50 years. 50 years. All down to the children for one man. Hey.
You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. 50 years. Wow.
yeah.
What's the message? Like, what is the secret for that?
You put up with a whole lot of stuff. You put up with a whole lot of stuff. And I guess for the children's sake, especially if you see that he kind of if he loved the children, or the children love him, you kind of stick it out. You stick it out. Because you don't want the children to be sad.
That's it. Thank you. That's that's major. 50 years. That seems so forgotten about now. You don't hear no type of relationships lasting like that. What's your advice for me? How can I get something like that? Come to Africa?
I don't know about coming here because the women, if you have stuff, what I've learned since I'm here for the one straight year that I'm here, they'll take your stuff away from you. They'll take you. If you have a house and you don't treat them right or they think you're doing something, they'll take it from you.
Really? So the divorce is that bad? Is divorce rampant here?
I don't know the numbers, but I know a
divorce.
couple of people who are divorced.
How does that pan out? Is it as bad as America?
I don't even, you know what, I don't even know. All I know is they're divorced. I don't know if it was a bad whatever, but, yeah, I'm not trying to be divorced. Even though, you know what? I think with marriage, it's not a one-size-fits-all type of situation. And I feel like people should realize that certain things that you would put up with, others might not.
And the your parties are human too. So you have to look at both sides.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. And we was just watching this thing randomly where Michelle Obama was talking to a group of women, and she was talking about marriage, and she was like, there's this concept of marriage being 50-50 when it's never 50-50. It's not like, it's never 50-50. Sometimes you're at 60, sometimes he's at 40, sometimes he's at 80, sometimes you're at 20. And I don't think like the young ones today understand, maybe when you speak to some of them, they don't even want to get married, to be honest. Marriage is not even.
Because in my situation, when my mom and dad, they didn't break up, and that was back in the day. And they had quarrel, and my mama was threatened to go somewhere when she threatened we the children. She ain't going nowhere.
But you just blowing smoke. So let me ask you, since you're here, and I thank you for joining us. What are we missing these days in relationships?
Respect. I think it's respect.
Okay, I'm leaning back on that one.
There's got to be a certain amount of respect there. Because you can't just come and say anything to somebody you want. I mean, that person is human, and you're human, so you're not going to accept any kind of conversation. You have to have a certain amount of respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
For all people, all parties, right? Not just women respecting men, but men
Exactly.
respecting their spouses. as well.
Yes. Yes, and children too.
Us, due to like colonization and slavery, we kind of look at our children as like slaves, and we treat them like slaves. And you hear now, well, I provide, I feed you, and this and that, but that's not parenting. Parenting, you can provide something for somebody. We hear now protect and provide, but what is providing? What are you providing? I was just talking about providing a roof and shelter. What about the relationship?
Exactly.
And I think that's one thing we are missing in America. We think just because I provide you food, clothing, and shelter, I'm good. But what about the relationship?
Right.
And the growth and the sustainability.
Yeah.
And feeding the mind that's left out because I'm giving you food, clothing, and shelter. I was like, well, am I an animal? Am I a slave?
Right.
What about my brain?
Right. And when you said that, I thought about there was this whole thing around Akon when he must have said something like going to your children's games or something like that. I don't know exactly what he said. It's European or something like that. And I was just looking like, really?
What?
He was just saying like going to like, let's say he has a tennis match or something, going as a father going to something like that, it's not necessary. That's what Europeans do.
No, it's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
Right. Yeah, I think he said that a few weeks ago, I think on Vlad, yeah, saying that's European stuff, going to like soccer games and stuff like that. And it's like, no, I played pop under football. It's nothing like getting an interception or scoring a touchdown and you look up in the stands and your parents, that's my boy, that's my girl.
Right.
That encouragement, that goes a long way. Because even you see now like a bunch of smart children, they don't have that encouragement to keep going. And I think that kind of leads to like a lot of emotional instability. Of not, if you do, like, we was talking about this yesterday with Ebenezer, like one thing we say about African Americans, we have it hard, but that helps us navigate hardships. You see people, they got all the money, all the this and that, especially in the pandemic, they jumping out of high rises.
Right.
You know, like,
Jumping out the window. Right.
So
Yeah.
it's major.
Yeah.
But Ms. Zinga,
Yes.
so we here, where we at right now?
We're in Accra, Ghana. In my home.
In East Legon.
In East Legon. Yes.
So how long have you been over here in Ghana?
I came, initially, that was when you brought me in 1998, and we left in 2000, and then for my husband, that was in 2008. Yeah, in 2008.
So you've been here since 2008?
Yes.
Wow.
But I've been going back and forth, because whenever I would get pregnant, I would go and be up under my mom. I would go back to my mom's.
But you born and raised in America?
Not born. We were all
Jamaica.
9
She
were
was
born in
born in
Jamaica. And then we moved to the States when I was maybe 5 years old.
Younger,
Or
maybe.
probably
So you a
younger.
tether?
Yeah, I'm a No, because my mom, you are so crazy. Yeah, half tether.
What's tether?
Not foundational. But my mom is foundational. Yeah. But you know what? It's crazy that she said that, right? Because I used to do this podcast with a friend of mine. It was called Yard Abroad, right? And it was the tagline was like 2 Jamaican women living in Accra, Ghana, and our experiences, right? But now that I am growing and maturing and whatever, I identify more with my mom's side, my foundational side, than my Jamaican side. And I always tell people, I come from a lineage of wives and families. Like, your mom was married, your mom's mom was married,
And
and their brother was married.
Yeah.
So it's like, I find a pride in that, and just in that culture. And like my mom said, like, you built that. You helped build that. So it's like I'm leaning more towards, not saying that I'm forgetting about my Jamaican side, but
No, it's cool, you claim us.
but I just, I just appreciate that about my mom's side. Yeah, it's a pride in that, because, like I said, I used to be so ashamed of being a housewife. Not ashamed, but like, I could feel like I could be doing more with my life. But now, like, and I was watching something, and usually when you hear, like in the States, usually when you hear that term housewife, you immediately think white women, right?
Yeah.
These white women who are unapologetic about being housewives, and they're proud of it. They're homeschooling their kids. They're doing that. And I was watching, and I was like, you know what? Why shouldn't I be proud of taking care of my home and taking care of my kids and spending time with them? And I think it's the most important job in the world. And I don't want the feminist women to come
Last born. And he had a report to do, and we grew herbs like peppermint and different kinds of little garden herbs. He wrote and said, I give him herbs.
Oh God, where did that come from? Where did that come from?
You mean you don't remember?
Yes, I remember that. And Child Protective Services came to that.
Israel.
We were just talking about marriage.
Wow.
I was gonna give him something to laugh about.
So coming from like, I mean, you said something major. You said you came from a line of wives, and now you a wife.
Yes, and a proud one.
That's right. So how do you think that benefited you coming from a line of wives to now make you a wife? Because, you know, being a wife ain't really promoted these days.
You know what? It's crazy that the people that write these songs about fuck that nigga, you know, they're all married. Most of them are married with kids, like at home. Like, so I don't get it. It's like, I think they look at the entertainer part of it, but you're not looking at what this person is really got going on. Like, they're married. They have children. Like, I'm sure their children ain't even listening to their music. Yeah, so I don't think there was, yes, my mom was a wife, but again, my dad was just he wasn't like in the house like that, but I don't know, it was just something in me that I always wanted to be a wife. And maybe subconsciously, that's why, but I just always wanted to be married. I always wanted to have kids. I always believed in love. I was never on no fuck that nigga shit. Even when my friends were, I was like, y'all can say that, but I'm looking for a husband. So, and my mom never spoke to me about, oh, this is how a man is supposed to treat you or whatever, but it was just always something in me that wanted to be a wife. Wanted to have a family, maybe it was watching the Cosby Show. Maybe it was watching the Cosby Show, because I can remember as a kid watching the Cosby Show and being so fascinated, like with Rudy and how the family was, and then Different World, how they went off to college, and we don't have those shows anymore. We don't have those shows anymore.
We got nigga tank. Nigga tank. That's all we got. And even though what you were saying about I don't like this nigga. I seen a video the other day. What's that girl name? Glorilla or something. I guess his name Moneybag something. And they was like, they made a video. It was like, what is it? Fuck that nigga, fuck that bitch. I guess and I'm like, yo, how does this get on air? You know, and the fact that people are promoting that image like it's cool. But even like with Glorilla, I thought that FNF, the little fuck nigga free stuff, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a skit.
But what is that? I don't even know what that is.
That's a great thing.
No, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
She's from Memphis. Her name is Glorilla.
Yeah, I know Glorilla.
But she had a song. She's nominated for a Grammy.
For what? For that song?
Fuck nigga free.
But what does that mean? What does fuck nigga free mean?
I don't know. She was just like,
okay, fuck nigga free.
She was like, I'm F-N-F-E, and that was the song. It's like independent. I-N-D-E.
I kind of like that song though.
Shout out to Bootsy and Wendy. I like Write Me Down. But the fact that I thought it was a skit, like.
Oh, you thought it was like a parody.
But like, I think it was. However, it just went viral.
Wow.
She ended up getting a record deal. Yo Gotti signed her, and now she's nominated for a Grammy. But it's like, so I definitely gotta ask about this. Do you see that black women are being set up in America to fail? Like, do you see the WAP? How does WAP get nominated for a Grammy? And the image that's being promoted to, like Lizzo. I ain't never heard her music. I guess she's talented, but all I know Lizzo is for getting naked and twerking.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know any
Is
of
she
her
the fat
music.
lady?
I'm
Yes.
done with you.
She did. She obese. I might be body shaming right now.
I'm laughing at the way you said that. Stop.
Since she a fat lady.
But you know what? It's crazy that you said that because I don't know any of her songs either. That's what I know her for.
Mhm.
But as far as them being set up to fail,
During my old
I
old
think
season.
yes, there's a system in place that this is what they want
Promotes it,
that
yeah.
promotes it. But there's hundreds of other women that these young ones can look up to.
Mhm.
There's examples out there. It's just about you finding them, I guess, or just not
But you know,
wanting to be that
you
way.
never used to be like that. You had the singers like the Temptations and the Supremes and all of them, the ones we almost forget about. They were singing good songs, good love songs, and
Yeah. And I don't even listen to any new music now. When you sit in my car, it's like old R&B. But you know what? Maybe because that's what I was raised on. I wasn't raised on what
that-
is
yeah.
happening. Yeah, no. It was like Ralph Tresvant, New Edition, like men saying, "Please,
Yeah.
baby,
Yeah.
please forgive me, baby."
And you know what's funny? Even with the music, you know, the singing is separated.
Yes.
Now it's like, I call it, it's like rap music. I'm in the club, we popping bottle like, hey girl, it's your birthday. Like,
And people used to dance together, dance. I mean,
Dance together, yeah.
Not way out like you're fighting me, dance.
yeah, you don't even know, even like I know when I was coming of age, we did used to dance. People don't even dance no more.
No.
We don't even dance no more.
No.
It's like, come in, shake that, pop that thing.
Yeah. And in the club, everybody's looking at. You know what it is? It's all about money. The money, the jewelry, the whatever. So even I'm trying to put myself in a position as a young woman in America that maybe doesn't come from a two-parent home. And I'm seeing these things, and I'm seeing that the women who are doing these things, they're getting money, they're getting flued out, they're getting all of this. So why would I be married and have children and like let me do what?
Yeah, it seems like it's no benefit of having chats anymore.
Right.
Because even like, oh my gosh, in my field, they're not prostitutes anymore, they're sex workers.
Yes.
And it's like, so we want to change the language to say it's noble to sell yourself. And I tell because like mainly a lot of my clients who might not participants, let me get right, they're young ladies trying to enter the field. Some of them, how they present, you can tell you're sex workers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how are you trying to teach cognitive sustainability when you're doing this? What do you think is the end result? You know, or even, I don't care the camera running, the trans stuff. You know, I tell some of my young case managers at the time, because they grew up in this, and I'm like, 20 years ago, this is a no-go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, why not try to ask the person what made you do this, not live out your trauma. Here's some puberty blockers, here's some hormones. Here you want a sex change, you want to get reconstructive surgery, here you go. But it's not asking, how can we make you whole again? So for me, like, that's why I like social work. Because psychology of being a therapist now, if you see now, go to therapy, but look at the therapist. Are you here to just talk to me about this, or are you here to help me become whole again? And what I've seen a lot of, especially for a lot of us in the field, it's cool to just live out your trauma. Oh, that happened to you? That's all right. Go ahead and do what you do. But let's not talk about how can we help you get back to your whole self.
Right.
So what did psychologists say? Say she's full of shit.
Exactly. Full Full of it. Full of it.
That was a real one. We know someone who went to therapy and the therapist was like,
Because even now, like, you see so many, like, this one sister I was following, she was great, I love that she helped me out. But then as she becomes more of a content creator, I'm looking at her like, you got some mental health issues. Like, what are you doing?
She's trying to help somebody.
see, and you know what? It's good that she brought that up because this is my first time even thinking about like, yeah, the therapist is also a human too with their own traumas and it's like, who is your therapist really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially being in the field, I've learned two things. One, a lot of people study psychology. They're really trying to find a purpose for themselves, to deal with themselves. And I'm like, what I've learned of being a professional in the field, I'm not a clinician, I'll say that. I'm just a counselor. I'm cool with that. You have to do the due diligence on yourself first. And you have to show up whole, because if I can't show up 100, I can't give nobody 100. And some of the reason I'm unemployed now is that many people are just in the field bleeding on other individuals and pushing their own agenda. And to have the sense to question that, especially somebody that has the quote-unquote credentials or license, they feel that's a problem. But really, nobody is above check. You know, just because as you said, a therapist needs a therapist. I tell you myself, listening to a lot of people's stories and this and that, I gotta get it out of me. Like I don't go to therapy, but I get counsel from my uncle. I talk to him and I can unload that stuff on him. But if I didn't, I'd blow up.
Right.
Because all is lodged up here.
And it's like we're taking in so much, even like in the same aspect of social media. But I think a lot of people don't understand, like when I say Twitter, for example, we're reading all of that stuff. Everything we see, we're reading it and it's going into our mind. We may not think it's that deep, but it is, because even I look at your story today, just for example, I'm reading it, I'm taking it all in, and I'm processing it before I have a thought about it. But a lot of us, we don't even look at all the stuff we're taking in online and it's feeding into our psyche. We may not think, we're not physically reading a book, but you're still reading and injecting that into yourself.
Right.
And I think many of us, we don't see how we're projecting it outwards.
A lot of places. The two of y'all sitting there talking, blah, 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 and I don't know what you're saying.
Right. So how long have you been coming back and forth?
Since I brought them here, I
in
really,
the 90s?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really should learn language, but
You said you good. I don't blame you. Why not? Is it so you still able to navigate well even not knowing the language?
yes,
How?
yes. I just do it.
Okay. Because I guess that's one of my big questions. Like, how do I maintain forward? Of not knowing the language, of
I
staying
guess
here.
you get with somebody who can explain, who move with you, who can move you, that you trust, that can do things, talk for you.
Okay.
Let's say. And if they're not saying what you want them to say, say, oh no, that's not what I mean.
Okay. So that'll save me some CDs.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, what has been what would you say the best thing you've got of being over here?
What is the best thing I've gotten to? Ghana is not really what I thought Ghana was going to be like. I thought the people were going to be all welcome, open arms, and it's not so.
Not so. So
There's
when we
more
coming
people-
over here, go ahead.
The most to see, if you got some money, you got some dollars.
So the money is key over here.
Yeah.
Wow. I've noticed that a bit too. But I guess every time I leave America and go to Black nations, that's one thing I do realize. The
They want
dollar
the
is powerful.
dollars. Yeah.
That dollar's key. That dollar's everything.
If you have dollars, you all right. As soon as you're in Daytona and you ain't got no dollars, well, if you put down the $100.
They give you the side eye. Oh man. Yeah, that's true.
I think. Hey, the worst thing, the roads are kind of horrible. But the way the people, I don't know, maybe because I live in a certain way, it doesn't cost, it seems like things are expensive here. It seems like things are expensive. And then I'm in a different situation. So I'm thankful still.
That's right. That's right. That's all we can be. Just thankful, you know. Yeah, for me, I think like the people here are great. I didn't know. I guess maybe the people I've been around. I don't know. I can't speak for all. It's the people here are very welcoming. Yeah. What I've got. I do see on some levels the dollar is still key. However, what I've learned is there's a lot of opportunity here for us to come and build something if we have the mind.
Yes. Yeah, to business-wise, if you can build a business and what people need and supply what they need, I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because when in the beginning, there used to be a place called Accra Zoo, and I used to run it there. It had a canteen and everything. That was nice because the school children would come, and my idea was that to have like a resource center for them. Like if they came, show films and different. That's what I have. But now when I come back, I see they've changed all.
Back.
Yes.
So checking?
Yeah, before I get on this plane.
He said you're taking a plane tonight. To where?
Oh Lord. So I'm flying to Amsterdam.
Oh.
We get to Amsterdam at
Solid place. He loves that. Amsterdam.
5 in the morning. We get there. Since I do have a layover, I'm gonna run around. I got a 7-hour layover. And it's funny, your brother actually told me when I was on my way here and I posted a video walking to the airport, he was like, oh, you gotta go out to the city. It's a train that's right under the airport. And he's like, he said it's very cheap. They take you all around town. And I told him I'm gonna do it when I come back.
Yes.
So shout out to him, just do me a favor. Shout out to the brother. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run around with my uncle.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And then I gotta go back to LA. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss my flight again. Going back to LA trying to get through customs. No, I was supposed to be here that was last week on Monday, but I missed my flight on Sunday because I had like a 4-hour delay. I don't know why. Wow. So yeah, I gotta fly to LA and I gotta fly back to Oakland. So hopefully I'll be back home on Sunday. Okay. That's my plan. But cool, I wanna hang around LA, hang around home for a bit, go to Roscoe's and and get back. But it's all good. I ain't got nothing to do. You back with us today?
We're back.
So let me see, am I pronouncing this right? Hathora.
Yes.
What is Hathora?
Okay, so the name Hathor came from the goddess Hathor. Do you know Hathor? So I always say I'm my father's favorite child, and when I say my father, I'm talking about God. So when I heard the story of Hathor and how it was almost like she was the one that was kind of like the chosen one, I was like, okay, this just makes sense. One day, one of my friends was like, she sent me this whole thing about the goddess Hathor. And I was like, yes, when I was naming the store, it was very intentional. But yeah, that's why. Because I'm God's favorite, just like Hathor was.
So what do y'all do there? I see you slaying that hair.
Well, interesting enough, once the hair, we have a couple of wigs there, but once the hair is gone, I don't want to sell hair anymore. Right now, I want to kind of restructure because randomly I was in the store and there was some African American ladies having dinner, like a couple of doors down, and they passed by the store and they came in, and one of them, she was from Jamaica. Not from Jamaica, she lives in Jamaica, her husband is Jamaican. And she has a hair care line. And the reason being is because she got a brain tumor and it was from the hair care products that she was using. And she literally was going through the shop, picking up products, looking at the ingredients and saying, this is bad, this is bad. And I was just like, you know what? I am adding to this problem because I know maybe about 3 or 4 women in my age group with fibroid issues. And I'm like, then even being in beauty, I guess you hear about these things, how, there's so many chemicals and this and that. But when she did that, I don't know, it was just something in me that was like, I need to not be a part of the problem and actually change around the concept of this store. So gradually what I want to do is for Hathor to be an all organic beauty supply store. Inshallah. Yeah, so that's the plan.
Much respect on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel you on that because I love natural women, but I gotta say, I was happy to see a black woman in the business.
Thank
selling
you.
it. At least you're selling it.
Thank you.
We always see a bunch of Asians in America are
Yeah.
running up in the stores like
Yes.
nail shops taking DDT and still going back. Get
Yes.
suplexed get suplexed on the table and still going back the next day. You got black men coming in the store, shutting it down.
But you know what, I must say, I'm in this Facebook group. There are a lot of black women opening beauty supply businesses in the States. So,
Shout out to them.
yeah, shout out to y'all because we definitely need it.
Because that's a good $1 billion business that we fund, that and the nails.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm saying, I love to see black women doing hair forever.
Mm-hmm.
But go in the shops, sell the stuff, get a market on the product,
Right.
work together.
Right.
Put them people out of business. But I do see a lot of them coming up now,
Mm-hmm.
cornering the market.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see that.
Yes.
At least they getting them dollars because that's liquid money all day.
They were visiting Ghana, and they were like, they had just came back from doing their nails, and they were like, I don't know why I thought when I went to get my nails done that it would be Asian people doing my nails. And she's like, it was actually black people doing my nails, and I'm like, yes. Yeah. So like in my shop, I have a Nigerian guy
I see him.
who does nails.
Okay.
And really, I don't know what it is, but in Accra, the Nigerian men are the ones shutting down the nail game. Like, they're top tier. I don't know what it is about Nigeria or what kind of training they're doing. And these are straight men, by the way.
Okay.
Not that it matters, but when you hear these things. Yeah, so it's interesting to see. Yeah.
That's what's up. And I'm glad you said that because at the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
We're still doing business.
Right.
We're trying to get into the industry.
Right.
Nobody else be like, well, I'm not going to. The Asian man don't say, well, I'm not going to open a beauty supply.
Yeah, because, I don't want to be seen as fruity or whatever.
Exactly.
There's money in that. There's money. Come and get this money. I think if anything, if you don't get anything out of Ghana, there is money to be made here. Forget friendships, these little bits here and there that might discourage you. There is money to be made. People need things here. It's literally wide open. It's wide open for business.
A brother like me or anybody watching this, in the States, what are some of the things we can come here and get into?
Whatever you feel like you want to get into. Literally, whatever you feel like you want to get into. Real estate, agriculture, school. Who is this comedian that just opened a school here?
Michael Blackson. Shout out to him.
Yes.
Shout out to him.
Literally, whatever you want to do, you can come here and do it. And I think the benefit of coming from the States is that most of us know what customer service is. I mean,
that's a great thing.
Yeah, most of us know the standard of customer service that we've experienced in the States and those type of things. And I think those things here are a bit lacking. So when you come with that drive and you also know what customer service is and you're just passionate about what you want to do. Not saying it's going to be easy. Nothing good is easy. But if you want to try your hands at making anything happen for you, come to Ghana, visit, and see what you can get into. Because you might come here and feel like, okay, I've been doing whatever in the States. Let me see, come to Ghana and see if I can do the same thing here. And it might change. You might come here and think you're coming to do something and you'll see a need somewhere and you're like, okay, instead of doing this, let me do that. So the possibilities are endless, don't you think? Even, for example, as I'm looking at my mom, even the things for senior citizens to do. Like I know in the States, my mom, she can make a phone call, a bus will come and pick her up, take her to her appointments, drop her off at the mall if she wants to. She can go to the senior citizen center, have those conversations with people. So you can feel like, you're a part of something. But here it's like, for somebody like her, you really have to, that whole finding your tribe thing is a bit difficult, especially for senior citizens. So if it was someplace that they could actually go and like hang out and, what is a need that's not here that you would want to see here?
That's what I'm thinking now. Because I want to go back and come back and do something. Just like how in Jamaica. I'm thinking, what did I do in Jamaica? I made a business in Jamaica. It was like boutiques and fashions. But they have fashion here.
Yeah, we have a lot of fashion here. But I'm talking about for your age group, something that you feel like is missing for your age group.
It's the transportation. For if they want to go, if senior citizens want to go somewhere, the handicap, if you go into to the store, there's no accommodation.
That's true. For like people with disabilities. Yeah. It's true. Like somebody like my mom, like she doesn't need to be in a wheelchair. But let's say she wants to go to the mall or something. Yeah. There's not even a cart there that she can sit in and ride around.
Ride yourself around.
Those little things that we take for granted over there. Or even sometimes I would have to walk up a flight of stairs. And I'm thinking, first of all, in the States, that would be a lawsuit, number one. That would definitely be a lawsuit.
And the accessibility.
Exactly. Accessibility is a problem. So I think that is also an area that needs to be looked at, because having my mom here and even traveling around with her, it's a bit difficult because they don't think about one day we will get older and we will also need, we probably can't climb the steps like that. Or yes, we want to go somewhere, but now we have to wait on our children who are out working or depend on the house help here, or you know, those things.
What is the highest benefit you've got being here outside of the States?
I think the highest benefit for me would be how I'm raising my children. I think that's the biggest benefit to me because, yes, I mean, I'm not saying all the states is I'm not saying that, but I feel like from what I've seen, there's a level of respect that children have. That sense of community, like there's always an auntie, there's always a grandma, there's someone there to like get it together. Yeah, just the discipline, just seeing them go to school in a uniform.
The uniforms are number one.
Yes.
Schools need to have uniforms.
Why is that?
Because when children dress up to go to school, they're in the States, everybody can't have the same amount of clothes, can have a Nike shoes or Converse shoes. You have one type of shoes or one type of clothes. You just have a uniform, everybody have the same uniform. You come home, you take off the uniform, you wash it, you put back on the uniform the next day. When it's dress up time, you dress up and you go to school.
Damn. Excuse my language. I agree 100% because coming up in Long Beach, we had to wear uniforms. Mainly it was because of the gang stuff. We couldn't wear Georgetown, we couldn't wear White Sox, we couldn't wear Chicago Cubs because, it represents the neighborhood. But the thing was, as well as I grew older, it was good that we was in uniform because a lot of people wasn't polished.
Yes.
So if you was wearing your regular clothes to school, you was getting bagged on and talked
Right.
about. We was even talking about people's hair, but I was ignorant back then. But yes, it was true. So even we had to have a blue collar shirt and blue jeans or a white polo shirt, and that was a uniform.
Yes.
And we had free dress day when we can express ourselves, and that was cool. But as what you said, that kept a lot of people not being exposed, not exposed in the poverty situation. Like we may have knew people, mothers may have been on drugs or this and that, or not having fathers in the home and not having a lack. But the only thing that we got to show that dignified us was just shoes. So I think the uniform kept a lot of us grounded until we got to middle school. We now uniform, and we got older and we can articulate them ideas that. Oh man, you got Shaq shoes on and
Right.
So I agree. I think the uniform and it does it builds community because we're all in the same and we all have the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at each other what we gonna talk about and we value. Right. That's heavy. For those of us having children in the States, do you think that's a disservice?
Yes. Yes. Because to have them have change of clothes, have a different dress today, a different dress tomorrow. Your clothes will be full of clothes that you don't wear. Only you just need a uniform, and you come home, you wear the uniform, come home, take it off, wash it if you have to, and put it back on.
Raising your kids in the States, no ideas.
I would prefer it. I would prefer it.
Why?
Because I would make them wear a uniform. They would have to wear a uniform, whether they like it or not.
No, I'm saying raising kids in the States, not the uniform.
Yeah.
Raising like
Yeah.
Is there a
Versus
benefit
here.
Versus here.
It would be the best place you could do, because they don't have a lot of distraction like gangs on the corner. That's what I can see. They don't have gangs on this corner. But over there, you have the rap. You have Everybody want to be a rapper.
Oh yeah, talk about
Everybody
it.
want to be a rapper.
Talk about it. Everybody want to be a rapper. I'm tired of them rappers. I'm in the industry for a bit, but I was a businessman.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like a stigma. Everybody was rapping. You know, you was around 2002 till about 2008. Everybody rapping. I'm in the studio. You in the garage, brother. You know, I'm in the studio.
Right, I'm in the
You
studio.
your room. You in the closet.
With some FOMA.
Right. That ain't the studio. And it's like, even just go do poetry.
That's it.
Yeah,
Something
poetry
else.
is
You
true.
don't have to rap, or even you don't have to play
And what they're
basketball.
rapping about, it ain't nothing.
Talk about it. They ain't rapping about nothing. Rapping about the Democratic plantation.
Right, it's true.
So let me ask you this, because you raising children, what should our children be focusing on these days?
They should be focused on themselves, on getting an education, learning different languages, realizing that this is a global community. But and I say that because being raised in the American educational system, it's almost like you're taught that America is the greatest. It is a great country, but maybe, I mean, it has great things about it. Let me put it that way before people be like, oh, she MAGA or whatever.
It's all good.
But there's a whole wide world out there. Get your languages together, education, finding crafts and art form, finding something creative to get into, being physically active, finding a sport, just doing things other than watching the TV, playing video games, those type of things.
And getting in the dirt, growing stuff.
Growing stuff.
Growing something.
Most
This is nothing but a
importantly.
pot of flowers. Growing, you growing something. You plant a seed, you watch that seed, you wait for that seed to grow up and come into something. Even a tomato, you put the tomato in there, you know it's not going to come out of a tomato. You have to wait till the tomato bloom and blossom and grow a tomato. Again, that's what they need. Children don't know where their food coming from.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know where their food is coming from.
Mm-hmm. Very
That's
true.
everything. That's basically why I've been here. To tell the truth, because my great uncle, who I'm traveling with, he does agriculture and dealing with hydroponics, aquaponics, all that stuff. And we were working with Dr. Newton Amalo out in Kumasi. So he is I don't think he's the chair, but he's one of the heads of the horticulture program. So that's basically why we've been here. We gave a lecture on Monday to the students. It was the first day of classes about 21st century farming. So that's one thing my uncle and the doctor are merging together on, partnering about how to farm in the new century, which is really our survival.
Yes.
And one thing I've learned here that I've never really put two and two together, that a lot of the students' parents was actually farmers. But they're still farming on the old traditional way of being exploited. But with the information my uncle gave in his lecture, which I'll be throwing that up soon, and myself are talking about the social and economic benefits of 21st century farming, is modernizing it. Saying you don't have to be in the field. You can grow something right here on campus. You can grow something right here on the roof. And you can make money off of that.
Yes.
And while making money off of that, you can want to feed yourself. You know where your food is coming from. But then as well, you can get economic gain from it because you're making money off it as well, but then you can sell.
Yes.
And the fact that you're growing your own food, that saves you money in elsewhere. As in like what I told the young lady, if you grow your own food, you got more money to get your nails done. You know, so or more money. I think we brought that together for them of saying the traditional model is cool, but let's modernize it and see that you don't have to be in the field all day. You can probably use technology. You can work together with, say, this is my parent right here, and this is my friend's parent. They both farming. Let's start a business.
Right.
You know, yesterday he was saying he was walking 9 miles to his farm.
What?
And then walk 9 miles back.
Back.
But it's like, now we ain't gotta do that. Let's just grow something right here, and I go check on that every other day with the technology. Or as my uncle was saying, you can do things off the iPhone now. So you don't look at how to use the technology to modernize, urbanize farming. The ideas were spinning. I never looked at the science of agriculture until this past week. We're here. We got everything we need. We just have to create a new system, or really not create a new system, innovate the system we have now to figure out how we're going to make this a business. And instead of getting 10% from the distributor, we're going to get 75, and you're going to come to us. And that's what it's going to be. And because talking to one of the brothers, he was saying they feel they can't raise the price because they need the small money. But once you have systems in place in a group, we just going to turn that deal down today. So you come back when you got a fair offer, and that's what it's going to be. We don't need to sell this. We just going to eat it. I don't need the money. Farming on the continent is major. I just think because of being stuck in the traditional system of it, we're not seeing the value that people are providing. Even with the doctor, like I was saying this week, I see the product in America. We don't see the raw material.
No.
But learning that we have the raw material and we can make the product, we just cut everybody out. What these young people do, and how the continent, or just the information getting out there, 21st century farming, how that will benefit so many families, benefit individuals, benefit communities, because we need food to eat.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Instead of importing, when they import it, you can't demand this side. Well, we don't have this to sell it today. Then there's a shortage.
And I think that right there, that story that you just gave about the farming, when you asked me the question of what if someone is looking to come to Ghana, what opportunities are there here for them, that was a perfect example because of the traditional farming. And you and your uncle from his background brought something that will even improve upon what they're doing here, and there's the collaboration there. So I think with that, there needs to be more collaborations because all of the resources are here. It's just taking it to that next level.
How you get the land to do what you need to do. How do you get the land? Because when you ask about land, this person have acres and not doing anything, but they want you to pay them money to have the government need to provide. If you want to do farming, I think the government should say allow you a certain amount of acres to grow a certain amount of food. And when this food is ready, you distribute to the areas where there is lack of food, lack of this product.
Look at my mom, the visionary.
Realistic Pan-Africanism. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired of that term. I don't even identify as anymore. Because there's just so much rhetoric and theory. We got, people I know, you talking negative on black people in America, but you ain't even Africa yet. Telling everybody about Africa, you ain't got no passport. This don't make no sense.
Right.
When they talk about going somewhere, I said, wait, you have a passport? No, they don't know what is that. I said, a passport is like a driver license. You ain't got no passport, you ain't going nowhere.
Passport game.
You ain't going nowhere.
So I think that we need to really look at the reality of the relationship on the continent. At the end of the day, be realistic. It's too much theory. Like I had one brother, he told me, because he said, I ain't do nothing on the continent. I was just walking around and just hanging out. But I'm here.
Yeah.
You in the military and still ain't been here. That don't make no sense.
Right.
But he, he's Pan African. He said, I'm saying his name. His name's Steven. Steven can't even spell Dr. Khalid's name right. So I was like, don't even get me started. But he said he gonna come to Africa and build an army.
And build
An army of what? An army of what?
I don't know. I guess they gonna rise up
Rise up and do what?
and beat the white man. I don't know. Okay. So it's like these are the thoughts a lot of these people have, and it's like, brother,
But you know
wake
what?
up.
They need to have a talk with these black folks here that love the white man, love the white people. They see the white people, hey, they just melt like butter. I tell them, the white person is they're evil. They've done things that it's not them who done it, it's their parents who did. Yes, but they still know what their parents do. Make them, you do better. You know your parents do well, then you do better.
Like the reparations talk.
Yes.
I didn't enslave nobody. You still benefited
Yes.
from the system that got us in this position. And we still hold on to the trauma, the dilapidation, all that. So you may have not been there, but it's the road has already been paved.
Right, and everybody else is getting, as they say, tangibles.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not considered for that? Why don't we deserve that? Why do we even have to explain that? Like, it should be a no-brainer. Like, we deserve reparations.
I want my check.
Run me my money. Like,
Coming for our check.
yeah.
Let me spend my check like I wanted to spend.
We got people still living who, like, we may have not been there, but I'm sure for you,
Yeah.
your grandmother, her grandmother, that you heard the stories
Yeah.
that we don't talk about,
Right.
we forgot. So to say it's disrespectful to say we don't deserve that, because there's people who still living that was affected by that.
Yes.
Or was on the plantation,
Mhm.
maybe not as a slave, but still that system.
Hey,
Come on,
I know my father was a sharecropper, and what's more closer to a slave than a sharecropper? At the end of the growth season, you don't have nothing to get if you don't use everything else during the growth season. You don't have nothing to do. The man will look at it and say, "Well, Mr. Bazemore, you borrowed this amount of money. Then you got to pay it. There's nothing. You ain't have nothing."
Right. Credit. We never look at where this came from. We just happy to have it, but as you just said, well, your crops didn't come in this season, Tom,
Yeah.
so we're gonna put this on your credit.
Yes.
When this comes back, we're gonna see what it do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't got it, well, you just gonna hold
Right.
me.
And this is a grown man who has worked
And have children
with 9 children.
and nothing to feed them with.
Where are we failing? My generation. Please let us know what are we doing wrong? Because I love to talk to elders, because for me, if I was your age, I would be ashamed to look at what young people are doing in America. So he's seen Jim Crow, he's seen segregation, he's seen integration. I'm 5 generations out of slavery. He's 3. So to see all we got now and what we choose to do with it, and what y'all walk for it, what y'all fought for it, and I feel like we squandering it.
We ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. There's no land. How many people own land? How many people own land that they can grow anything? They have to go to the grocery store to get anything they want. Even when the season, say for instance, like in North Carolina, when the vegetables are ready for picking, you still have to go to the grocery store. The man you have stuff in the field, if he feel like he coming to glean what he left in the field, because he can't get everything out of it, he cut it up everything up.
Wow.
Because there's no land. Then if we had land, we could plant our own stuff and take it to the market and sell it. But there's no land for black folks in America. Let me speak for North Carolina. Most of the people that there have land is the white folk that they farm.
Do you think we need to get back to farming as well?
Yes, yes. It would help us as a people. It would help us as a people.
I agree. That is what I got hit with this week. I didn't realize how big we are in farming on the continent and how little power we have in that situation. And the fact that we do, because I guess with American slavery, we feel like that's slavery.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But really, that's where we've been doing that.
And that's what built America.
Till to this day.
Yes.
And we think we big niggas in offices, but the big niggas
Doing
on the
nothing.
farm.
Mm-hmm.
Doing nothing. But yaka.
So thank you for that, because that's what I've learned these past 2 weeks, the benefit of farming and how much impact it has on whole civilization. But we just don't value that anymore.
At all.
We don't value that. But we always looking for food, always looking for something.
Look at our little garden that we grow. I don't know if your parents or grandmother grow a garden. When that garden flourish, she don't have to go to the grocery store. Even if she go to the grocery store, what little bit she buy from the grocery store.
This land that the house is built on, it used to be a farm.
Here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
and look at it now.
Right, we niggas in the big house now. Forget farming.
We can always walk outside and grow.
Right.
We can always walk outside
Right.
and grow. So not to discount, we deserve all we get and all we got. And I think that's one thing we kind of forget. Like Elijah said, we deserve all the riches in the world. Heaven is here. We don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But still don't forget, what can still benefit us traditionally, or not even traditionally, ancestrally.
Yeah.
Those principles in farming, tilling the land, taking care of the land, growing, eating, that's always been within us, so we can't forget that.
No.
Just because we a little lax.
We can go
Right.
to the store
Exactly.
and buy a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Please, ma'am. Any words of wisdom that you got for us out here today?
From
Anything.
grow your own food. That's the first thing I can say. Forget about the grocery store, because look how many people go to the grocery store and get shot up in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Grow your food. If it's nothing but a little pot, grow it. I'm thinking my little garden that I had when I was in. I used to go out there, so
Mm-hmm. I
happy,
remember that.
pick my little stuff
Mm-hmm.
and come back to the kitchen with it.
Mm-hmm.
Things like tomatoes grow easily. Cucumbers
Mhm.
grow easy.
Carrots.
Carrots grow
Mhm.
easy. These are things that grow and you don't have to worry about. And the bugs don't eat them up like they do. Potatoes. You take the potatoes and you cut off the eye. People don't know the potato can cut off the so-called eye and plant that. And you can have potatoes. My thing is to grow your food. That's the number one. Grow your food. Don't have to go to the supermarket. The most you have to go to get, maybe if you want. And if you know what to do, you buy a coconut, you get a coconut and you have your own oil. You maybe you don't have no rice, you don't have to eat rice. You don't have to eat rice.
Okay.
You see how agriculture is just following you this whole trip?
I told the students, I was like, man, when I go home, I gotta make some changes. I can't just.
Yeah.
I can't just keep the same thing going.
Yeah.
You gotta make some change. I gotta start growing some things.
Mm-hmm.
So in all, it's like really, like I said, just getting the science behind it. Because you know, in the conscious community over there, we hear just do this, do that, but hear the science behind it, see the benefit. You can't replace that. So lastly, with you closing out, any words of wisdom, anything you wanna put out there?
Let's try and keep our families together.
I agree.
Let's try and keep our families together. And the children are important. The children. And I love what my mom said about having 9 children and not putting our dad on child support, because if the children love their dad and he loves his children, I think that's what matters. Yeah, let's try and keep our families together.
Because right now, one member of the family can't travel because the baby mother have him on child support, and the children
Have children,
and
they're still in court on child support.
and the father can't travel, can't even get a passport.
And we're not saying that men should not be held responsible.
Yes.
We're not saying that.
But they need to take off the system after a child reaches a certain age. Stop the putting a stop on the father. He can't make a move. He can't do nothing. Maybe if that person could travel, he could make some money.
Talk about it.
And even with not traveling, he has another child, and he's been taking care of this other child. But anyway.
See, the elders know. Say yourself, black man. That's all I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, we gonna have to work this out, and you hit it on the nail. And I think a lot of the young women know that. Crippling this brother in court. All you doing is he can't make no money. He may, even like I'm here, taking his passport, he may be struggling in America due to the system. He may have an idea and get out the country and get some help. But when you take that from him,
he can't go nowhere, can't do nothing but sit down.
And wait to go to jail on careers.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you castrating the brother or whatever, the man, to make money, how you gonna catch up? So like I said, I agree 100% with you. We got to learn to work it out, stay together. Even I tell baby mamas, you need to go back to your man, go back to your baby father and work it out. I don't like him on this, that, but you're going to put more effort into the next guy instead of the brother you push the baby out for. This don't make no sense.
And like one old lady told me said, her parents, she put a nickel between her knee and keep the knee tight. The nickel don't drop.
There you go. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it on that. So, any last words in closing? Where can we find Hathor at?
Hathor is in East Legon in Accra, Ghana. If you come to visit, everyone knows East Legon. We're on the Boundary Road. Come in, stop by, and see me. By then, we should be all organic. I'm manifesting it on video today. We'll be an all organic beauty supply, black-owned shop.
That's right. Black-owned in Ghana. There ain't nothing better than that. Right. So I would say, in closing, thank you.
Thank you too.
I appreciate you sitting down with me. I know it's my last day. and
It's
we
not
made
your
it
last
happen.
day.
But the blessing
Yeah.
of you joining us, giving some wisdom, like I said, I'm just grateful for all the gifts I'm getting while I'm here. You can't buy this.
Mm.
You can't package it. It's all organic. It's all
All
genuine.
organic.
All organic.
Yes. And when you go, make sure, say, those who don't have a passport, that you make sure they get a passport.
That's right. Can I hear you say passport gang?
Passport game.
And on that
That's right. So you hear from the elders. So what are we
Get your
doing?
passport. You get a driving license, drive a car. You want to go somewhere? Get a passport. You can buy a ticket. It don't cost that much. It don't cost that much.
So thank you. 'Cause you know they're gonna cut me on this one. But the elders know we're sitting up here with two beautiful black sisters. We in Africa, and they letting it be known. Passport gang.
Passport game.
Passport.
Because you ain't passport gang, you can't get here. It ain't about. I want to highlight it.
Right.
But to say it's so black with the passport gang and all this, the passport rules, they making it seem it's about going over there for the women. No.
Right.
This is why we passport gang. The experience.
Right. For the
And-
experience.
And the price is going up every year. I remember when the passport used to be $50.
Oh wow.
Now it's $200.
Yeah.
So it's a bill to even leave America. But it might be the last bill you pay there.
Right. Exactly. So where are your options?
There it is.
Get your passport.
Okay. So you heard it from the elder. So we sitting here with Zinga and her beautiful mother. Oh, go ahead.
Basima.
Basima.
Powerful. And Basima said, get your passport gang. We here live in Accra, Ghana. This is a Sane African production, and it's all good, baby. It's all good. So we gonna sign out with that, man.
Yes.
You wanna close us out, man?
Yes. What do you
Do
think?
you want to say
You wanna
something
close us
else?
out?
Peace and love. And passport.